everybody, and we are finally finished. I'm done. I'm so done with my 2014 December Daily album. And these are the last few pages I'm going to finish up, so I'm going to walk you through those. And then I will also film my December Daily 2015 prep, and so that should come out this week along with my philosophy about December Daily and some things that I've learned during this process. Okay, so let's get started. I am doing this layout of Corinne, who, let's see, was writing a letter to Santa Claus. And I had some embellishments that have been hanging around, or that have been hanging around my stash for a while. That little letter die cut sticker there that I'm going to put, it's kind of a dimensional sticker. And then that wish list 3x4 card. And so the picture is horrible, but that's okay. I used it anyway. And that's a photo of Brie and Rennie writing out her Christmas list to Santa Claus, and while watching Christmas movies. Then I had these little stamps that were also part of my stash. I mounted that on white cardstock. And I'm going to add that as an embellishment. I thought that was perfect for the story that I'm going to tell. And so, let's see. That Christmas, she wished for a La La Loopsy doll, which I think they're kind of scary looking. They look like little rag dolls with big button eyes. They're kind of scary. And then she asked for a Mushka doll and some pretty jewelry, or a jewelry box rather, and a nightlight that turns off in the morning. Very specific. And Legos and the Lego Wheels Spider-Man, which she got Legos, but I don't think we got Spider-Man. But the other things she got. And so her and Brie were sitting down and discussing all the things that she wanted for Christmas, and she wanted to make sure that Santa Claus knew that she had been a good girl that year, which she's a good girl anyway. She's a sweet child. And then here's the letter, and I'm trying to decide what I want to do with the letter. I'm going to add it to the album in some way, but I was trying to figure that out, and I didn't have an idea. So I'm going to just set that to the side. I'll figure that out later. And then, let's see, my video cut out a bit. And so I went ahead and did some journaling there. On to the next layout. These are pictures of the light show that is put on in Main Street, Frisco, where I live, or where I used to live, rather. And what they do is they choreograph music to the lights, which is super cool. And it wraps around this row of shops and really kind of chic and funky apartments, and then to the City Hall building, which also houses the library and the courts and things. And it's just so lit up and magical. And then the center of all of that is this big old Christmas tree, and you can get out your car and take pictures and stuff. And so we grabbed some hot cocoa from Starbucks, and that was also the night that we went to look at Christmas tree lights, or look at Christmas lights all around the various neighborhoods in that area. So I wrote out Christmas lights in my mini market alphas, and I did a tiny bit of embellishing. What I have learned is that I don't have to over embellish in this album, and I'll talk more about that when I do my December Daily 2015 prep in my reflections on December Daily. The next story that I wanted to tell is of us going to Oklahoma. That year we spent Christmas with my mother-in-law, but Corinne's other grandparents also live in Oklahoma as well. And so we stop and we see Corinne's granddad and his wife. And so that's a picture of her and her Grammy Sheila making some kind of, I don't know what this is called, but you take some inexpensive little puff popcorn stuff. It's not popcorn. It's kind of like those Cheeto Puffs consistency, if you're familiar with that. And I think they're kind of salted with a little bit of cheddar on them. And then you sprinkle some melted marshmallow, and it's delicious. It's the most delicious thing. And so I'm telling this story about her and Grammy Sheila making that little treat. Then the next layout, there's a band that goes down vertically on the page protector. So I'm creating a title band that says Oklahoma Visit. And then I'm going to add a picture of the little treat that they made. And then I embellished the bottom pocket with some die cuts and a snowflake and such. I'm going to spell out yum with my mini market alphas, which I love. I use a lot of these mini market alphas, and I'm going to use them some more in my 2015 December Daily. I like capturing these moments with Corinne and her grandparents. They could care less about their adult children anymore. When the grandkids come around, it's all about them. So flip the page. Since we visited my father-in-law and his wife first, we get to open presents, and so they are so generous, and they give us cash every year, which is really nice. And then also other gifts too. And this one was kind of a challenging Christmas because Brie was starting to begin her transition, and so she did receive a lot of mail type things, and which kind of made her upset a little bit. But everyone was sort of getting used to the idea and kind of in the beginning stages emotionally, so she was very gracious and accepted the gifts. The next layout is of Rennie relaxing in her grandpa's favorite chair. And I think grandpa has since gotten rid of this chair, but he's had it for years. It was a Christmas gift from Brie and her siblings years ago. And so I took some paper from my stash, and I don't remember the manufacturers because it's so old, and decided to kind of offset and do a little bit of offset layering there. Add a little bit of interest, and I'm going to also offset the photos. Corinne just grabbed a snack and just got on that recliner and just posted up like nobody's business, just relaxing. And that bottom photo is of her and her grandpa. She's opening presents, and of course her grandparents are incredibly generous. She's got 5 grandparents, 3 grandmas and 2 grandpas. So she cleans up every year, and she's the youngest grandchild. So at least for now, I have a sister-in-law, and her husband have yet to have kids, and so Corinne gets the bulk of the spoiling right now. So I spell out relaxing on that photo, and at the bottom, I use some tags from Teresa Collins, and I put tons of presents because she did receive a lot of presents. And since we were driving in from Texas, of course, we have to load all of that stuff and put it in the car and unpack it when we got home. But Corinne loves it all. So that Noel flare I got from Michael's, is probably from Recollections or something. And then I added another one of those labels at the top, and I just said chillin' in Grandpa Mac's chair eating a snack. And just a little bit more embellishing there, and then I think I'm going to call that page good. Okay, so I think I'm finished with that one. I'm going to put that in the page protector. And then I'm going to go on to, I believe, Christmas Day. Yeah. So here's a photo of our beautiful Christmas tree in my mother-in-law's house. We spent the rest of the time with her because it was actually her turn to have us for Christmas. And I'm going to layer a couple of the pieces of pattern paper. And that's just some old stuff from my stash. I think I got that either from Scraptastic or Scrapbook Circle. Trim that up. I'm going to also mount my photo on a piece of a dark green pattern cardstock. And what I like to do as kind of my own little tradition, and nobody in my family knows that I do this, but when everyone's in bed and the house is quiet and everything is calm, I like to turn out all the lights with the exception of the Christmas lights, particularly the Christmas tree, and light a few candles, grab myself something to drink and a snack, and I like to sit there and just stare at the lights and be in reflection. And that year, it was particularly needed because of everything that was going on with Brie's transition. I wasn't talking to people a whole lot about my feelings, and so just to kind of sit and reflect. Some years, it's just really enjoying the fun of the season. Some years, it's remembering Christmas past and things that kind of time that's gone by, my own childhood memories, people that I miss. And sometimes it's just to look at the lights because they're just so pretty. I do get caught up in all the Christmas magic. That is a part of me that will never go away because I absolutely love this time of year. So these other photos are us opening presents. Brie got her first dress that year. She bought me a cute owl from a little Etsy shop, which I love, and it sits in my office at work. And then, of course, Corinne is surrounded by all of her Christmas loot because her grandparents are crazy. We didn't get her nearly as much as her grandparents did, so because we know that they always get her stuff. And so I do a little bit of journaling there. And then I talk about how I love handmade stuff because I do. If anybody sends me anything handmade, I will treasure it for life. And it's not that I don't appreciate all the rest of the gifts that I get, but there's something about being given something handmade that I love so much. That's a photo of our Christmas dinner. We had turkey and roast beef and mashed potatoes and dressing and just all the wonderful, delicious things that one shall eat and should eat during Christmas. So we definitely filled our bellies. And then that's a photo of Corinne giving me the present that she bought for me, which was Amy Poehler's new book that came out that year, which I love. If you haven't read her book, please go read it because it's hysterical. And then us as a family on Christmas Day. I'm going to do the title that says Merry Christmas. And let's see. I wanted to put the title on the outside just to add some interest. And you've seen me do this with other pages on this album. And admittedly, I'm going to have to go back and do some hot gluing because I don't want them to fall out. But I also wanted it, you know, something different to catch the eye when people look at the album. And this album's going to be prominently displayed in my living room this year. So I'm so proud that I got it done. This was the first December Daily that I've ever done. So 2015 will be my second, and I have a different approach to it in 2015, which I'll talk about in later videos. So I'm adding a little bit more embellishing, and then that's it. So let me walk you through the album. So here's the beginning page. I'm not going to retell the stories as I've already told them in the previous video, so you're welcome to go back and watch those. But overall, I think this came together very well. My plan of attack for this December Daily initially was I didn't think that I could do it daily because the idea is that you capture a moment every day for the days of December, at least 25 days in Christmas, and then you tell a story about it. And I did mine more based on kind of the traditions and special moments on Christmas, so it wasn't done daily. And I kind of regret that I did it that way because I think it kind of lost sort of the underlying meaning of December Daily. Now, of course, you can do this however you want to. There's no rule or anything like that. But I definitely felt pressure to put certain stories in here. There are some stories that I left out, which is okay because I can just print those pictures and, you know, add them to a photo album or maybe come back later and add in those layouts. But the important thing is that I finished it October 31st, really early in the morning on October 31st, or maybe it was the 1st of, it kind of spilled over to the 1st of November. And I have all these memories captured. And going back through and looking at all the photos and journaling about these memories definitely inspired me for 2015. I know all the things that I want to do for 2015. And I know the things that I don't want to do in my 2015 album. But you can certainly, you know, don't pressure yourself. You make this your own. It's a really, really fun project to do. And I wish that I would have gotten it done sooner, so I could have had more time to kind of look through it. But it is done, and I'm glad. And it's something that my family will treasure forever, hopefully. So there you go. All right, look for the 2015 December Daily Prep to come. Thanks, guys, for watching. I'll see you next time.